Hello, what's up, family? What is good? What is good? Welcome to our YouTube channel. I am Mrs Martiens, and you have tuned into the Martiens YouTube channel. I am the wife. The husband is not here, he's at work. However, I am with you, and we're going to have a story time. Yes. I've always wanted to do this, and I'm glad that I get to do it today with you guys. So, we are going to have a chat, and I hope that this story time slash testimony really encourages you. I really hope that it keeps you hopeful. And if you are in a position where you are like busy questioning God about the state of your life right now, I pray that this testimony really lifts you up and reminds you that Nkulunkulu has got your back like that. Okay, cool. So here it goes. Akiri, so excited. Akiri, Mr. Martins and I came in here and we told you guys how we met, right? It was through a show called Fashion Meets Gospel. It was a beautiful concept that put together gospel music and fashion, right? And the founder of that concept was Lindani, who's the owner also of Lindani Styling. So he's the cupid between us. He's the one that says to Lindani, there's somebody that I want you to meet, and that somebody was me, right? So I want to take you back to where I was, how I got to that space, right? Because I was sitting a couple of days ago and I realized that like even that had God written all over it. I just didn't know what God was doing at the time. You know, so what had happened was I was in a very dark place. So one day I'll tell you how that happened, but I had dropped out of varsity due to finances. And look, I had gone out to look for a job so that I can help my mom at home and so that I can pay back my fees in the institution that I was going to at the time, the tertiary that I was going to. So it was like not a very good place for me in my life. I knew what I wanted to do for my career. I knew the type of things that I want to be involved in. I was always very clear about that, but I found myself having to go to the corporate world in order for me to survive. I started out doing sales. I started out doing promotions, and you know, one thing led to another. Temp jobs as receptionist and and finally I landed up like in a more stable setup. However, like I hated every moment of it. Oh my God, because it drew me far away from where I wanted to be and what I knew God had created me to do. So it was like a very unhappy place for me, honestly. So I remember seeing Fashion Meets Gospel the first year that it happened, and I think it was 2016. I saw it happening. I remember following the page on Instagram. I remember seeing the updates. I remember seeing the people that are going to be performing there, and like what a beautiful concept it was. And I was like, man, I wish I could like be a part of the people that are going to be there, or even just go there to watch the show. Like I would love that, you know, but I wasn't in the place to do that because where I was working also, it wasn't like a job with a salary, like it was an intern stipend type of situation. You know, but at the time it was a blessing because I could do some things at home to help mom. So I remember seeing in 2017 the poster for auditions for models. I was like, wait a minute, I can give that a shot. I'm beautiful. Like I've done pageants before. I was a pageant girl. I can be in that space. But when I read the requirements, they were looking for a person that was 1.75 tall minimum. That's the height they were looking for. And they had a whole like uniform put out to say, when you come, be dressed in blue jeans and white t-shirts and heels if you're a female, right? And you know what, I don't qualify, man. I don't qualify on this thing. But there was a sense of conviction inside of me that was like, go. I remember the night before I went to bed thinking I'm not going. In the morning, the conviction was so great. I remember it was so great I even had to inquire like with my mom to say, Mom, but I don't think I qualify. Money that we don't have at the moment. My mom was like, you know what? I feel like you should go. Go, my baby, go. That says my mom, Manzi Mande. I was like, yo, man, I'm full of potla la payana. These things can be very disappointing, you know. Look, I know that I was going to be in the midst of other beautiful girls. I was okay with that. But like, you know, I did not want to turn back because I just didn't make the cut. I'm qualified in faith, like in Kimoshi's cards, like in potla la paya. I was not willing to do it. So, but the urge in me was like, go, go, go. My mom was like, wait a minute, I'll make a phone call. And your uncle, I had an uncle at the time who was an Uber driver, and he was willing to drop me off there. He was going to continue working while I was at the audition, like in the area. It was Stanton. And when I'm done, he would take me home and then he'd continue working. So I agreed to that. I was like, sharp, that's transport out of the way. Let's do that. I bath, I get ready. I remember Nekiluchile straight back with hippies, like a long one, ne? And I didn't have like a fancy, nice white shirt, you know, like a blouse. I didn't have that. So I wore a vest, a white, right? I remember yeah, it was a brand that was pretty cool at the time at my hood. I wore that brand, like that vest, and I wore blue jeans. And at the time, for some reason, I didn't have, you know, those gorilla heels those girls wear. I didn't have that. I had like these black stilettos. I wore that, and I thought I was looking good. I tried doing makeup, you know, because I wasn't very good at that. Like at the time, it was worse. If you think I'm bad now, like at the time, it was like bad. So no, it was bad, guys. Oh, it was bad. So like I do my best, I pray, you know, but like there was this strong conviction, and I followed that. So I prayed about it, and I was like, God, I'm gonna go, and I'm trusting you to do a great thing for me there. And I know that I don't qualify, but there's a strong urge inside of me to go there, so I'm gonna go. So I went there, and when I got there, I remember Lindani had like booked something like a hotel. It was a hotel, something hotel in Stanton. And it was packed, number one. Number two, the caliber of models that were there. Guys, hear me when I say to you, those girls were stunning. Dropped like gorgeous girls were all over the show. They were celebrities that were there to be part of the panel, the judging panel, and also just there like as, what's the word? As like a support thing for Lindani, right? So it was a big thing. It was like an audition. There were cameras. There were people. Baba gospel. One gospel with cameras. It was dope. It was like, wow, this is big. It's bigger than I thought. I got there and immediately I felt small. I did. And this is not like me. This is not consistent to my personality, hey? I am not that girl. Like, I hardly feel tiny about myself. Like, I'm probably the most confident person, one of the most confident people that you'll ever have to come across in your life. No, like, I think, yeah, no, growing up humbled me because I've never been that girl. I got there and these girls were in I don't know how to explain. It was uniform, white t-shirt, blue jeans, right? But it's high-end fashion. It's high-end fashion, and they look like skin. Chocolate, dark, tall girls. You know, I felt tight. Like, I was short. When I got there, everybody in the room was taller than me. Everybody there was taller than me. Like, tall. And they were dressed well. Their makeup was on flick. Girls had eyebrows, weaves, inches, honey, upon inches. Big earrings. Hoops. Yeah, hoops. They had hoops on. Those girls were models. I was like, what is happening here? I go through the signing in process. I'm in a queue. They're calling in people. They're calling in people like in numbers, like 50 at a go, like, because there's a lot of people there. And I go in. I remember I went in with a bunch of people, right? And already I feel like I wasted time. Already I feel tiny. I feel small, like physically, and my confidence is shrunken to this. Like I'm just like, even like, this is not gonna work out. I don't know what I'm doing here, but you know, my uncle was trying to, you know, keep my spirits up. He was like, no, go, it's gonna work out. Ungas disqualify yet, go in. But I go in and I see the other girls. The way they walk, here's a catwalk, son. I even like pageant last location. My pageant last location. They were like those Iwokiami cutesy, but it's not catwalk. It's not. Ooh, I'm a shoni. Anyway, one of other girls are going up. They're doing their things. They're doing the things. The judges have like a reaction. They like, ooh, they like, you know, so I go up, I'm shaking, my knees are shaking, son. I stand there in front, and they like, okay, so before you start walking, you introduce yourself. You go, my name is da 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 da. I am this much tall. I da 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 da. Like, they had a little thing that you had to say. I remember it was like a quite of a lengthy thing that you had to say. And okay, so on the panel, akukhona ukunathi mizekeli, joy celebration. Angazi noma mina mazilobuthi nangucula kamnandi lo umkhudlanyana. Akukhona usisithidi Mohulu, Tidi Malaika. They were the singers in the panel, and then there were other people that I didn't know of, but seemed like big celebrities. That there was Katlego Danki, yes, like the, you know. So I go up, and then I have to now introduce myself. Bang Dinguban. So I go and I say, hi, my name is Londiwe Ndemande, at the time of Ndemande, da. And I remember Unati and Tidi going, whoa, your voice. And, you know, saying to them, okay. And they're like, wait. Can you sing? I remember saying, yes, I can sing. They're like, sing. This is a modeling audition. Need I remind you? This is a modeling audition. I took chances thinking I can be on a ramp, catwalking. Unati said, sing anything. I sang, you are the rose of Sharon, the fairest of them all. Sweet Jesus. I sang Sweet Jesus. And they were like, whoa, your voice, like your tone sounds different. We like the huskiness, we like the, oh my God. Listen, I am putting you down for the vocalists. You're not even gonna like, you can audition now, but you're going in as a vocalist for the day. Maye! Inkliziyami. Guys, ngangi jabuleni, because initially when I saw Fashion Meets Gospel being advertised, that is what I wanted to do. And you know, I just saw the opportunity to go and be part of the project as a model because that's the opportunity that they gave to the public. Yeah, if I can go 1, 2. Look, I've been singing Esontweni for as long as I remember. Right? Sorry guys, can I just fix this? I've been singing Esontweni for as long as I remember. I've been part of like community singing groups, like one that was quite big when I was in high school. But then for a while I stepped away from the singing scene. I just concentrated at serving Esontweni. I had my reason at the time, and the reasons were valid. And I love to sing. I love worship. I love the culture of worship. I love being in the worship spaces. And so, you know, to be away from that was not the coolest thing for me. But to be given an opportunity to be part of a platform that big, you know, was humongous for me. Guys, I was so happy. I did the catwalk knowing ukuthi I nandaba because mina ngiyocula ngiyohlabelela. Guys, I remember when I left, Unati said, take my number, because he was the vocal coach for the vocalists for the whole project. And he said, take my number, WhatsApp me. When the weeks approach for the event, I will add you to the group, and so forth and so forth and so forth. And kanjalo, I took Unati's number, I took Lindani's number as well, because Lindani also was like, oh, I like you, you look pretty, da 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 da, you know. And kanjalo and Benz and Jalo, I went home leaping with joy. Leaping with joy. That was me. I went home, I got home, I did that, I added him on WhatsApp, I texted him, I texted Lindani. Lindani wanted me to send a voice note of myself singing. I sent it, and he added me to the group. Like weeks after that, added me to the group, and I was part of Fashion Meets Gospel just like that. And that very year, my husband auditioned to be a model. He was one of the very tall people that were there. I didn't know him. I wasn't going in there with the idea you're your boyfriend or your I just wanted work. That was what's important to me. I wanted a gig, and I got there. The experience itself was great. I made friendships that I still have. I made a friendship with Lindani that yielded with me meeting my husband, you know. So I just wanna, you know, say that the place that I was in at that time, like I couldn't even tell Uguti, this is what God has set up for me to meet my husband. My husband is in the vicinity. I don't know. In my head, I was going to be married by somebody that comes from my church. And the same way I had seen people like meet their husbands and their wives to and this and that, there was, you know, a way that it happened for most girls and most guys at my church. And I thought it was going to happen like that for me. My husband was about from these guys is cooler now. One of them is going to look at me one day and feel like, oh, wife, let's go, you know. Or I'm going to meet him probably 3 years before we actually get married, and we're going to like each other from a distance, and we're going to like, let's stay holy, but I like you, you know, type of thing. I thought it was going to be one of those stories. And, you know, every other idea that could happen, and I shut out. But Nkulunkulu knew what he was doing, and I don't think my husband was also looking for a wife when she went to Fashion Meets Gospel. He literally was there to model. He was a six-pack kind of brother. You know, he was in his prime. He was doing his damn, you know. And like literally, I did Fashion Meets Gospel 2017, 2018, right? And 2019, Lindani downsized in vocalists, and I was in a full-time corporate job at the time, so I was not going to take time away from work to rehearse, because they had like 9 to 5 long rehearsals, like week rehearsals. It was crazy. And I remember prior to that, I had like taken leave for a week to be part of rehearsals and stuff like that. So at the time I was like, no, you know what, no, it's fine. Lindani downsized. I think at the time he had like 3 backing vocalists, and the big choir was out, and Khosi, my husband, was still part of the models. And I went to go watch because Lindani was then my friend, and I was supporting the whole thing. Oh, also I had a sister, Togo Gunene, who's a designer, who was showcasing her clothes there as well. So I went with her sisters to go and watch. And I remember seeing Chris Khosi on stage, walking by, and me whispering to the ladies to say, you know how naughty we are as girls. Like we be like, oh, Loya. And I remember him. I was like, nah. But for me is that guy. That guy looks like he could be my husband. But I didn't know who he was at the time. And after that show, I left. I went home without, speaking to him or knowing him or anything like that, But fast forward, a couple of months later, Lindani was like to him, Jonga Sana, there's somebody actually that I think you would love to meet, And that's when he sent him my numbers and my pictures and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I could have my years mixed up though. Yeah, anyway. But that's how it went down, and that's how I met my husband, and that's how, a big heap of endless joy came into my life, because that's what being with my husband has done for me. Like, I've been in this constant place of happiness, and I'm in a place where I love growing with him, and we are becoming closer to each other and closer to the Lord together. We are starting projects together, which is coming. Also, FYI, there's things that we are about to release. We are about to drop bombs on you. Oh. We are about to drop bombs on you guys. But yeah, I'm in a good place. Fast forward, I'm in a good place. Even what I am doing for a living at the moment is something that I've always wanted. I've always wanted to be in the arts. I've always wanted to perform. I've always wanted to sing, dance, and act. I've always wanted to be on stage. I've always wanted to be on television. And at the time, it really felt as though I am being derailed. I am not. It didn't look like there was a channel for me to get back to where I wanted to be. But uNkulunkulu emuhle really just made a way for me. Like, he was orchestrating so many things for me to be at this position now. And I believe that, like, I have not even seen the plenty of it. I feel like I've just only seen the tip of the iceberg of what God has placed for me, and I'm excited to just keep unraveling what God has for me. So I really hope this encourages you guys. I really hope that you do not feel like uNkulunkulu delile. I hope that you don't feel like he's not there. Even when you are at a place where it does not look like you are with him, he's there. He's making your crooked path straight. Actually, I'm almost done, guys. I'm almost done. Isaiah 45. If I were you, I would read the whole chapter. 45 for one Kenji. But verse 2, uti, I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron. He will go before you and set crooked path straight. And I know ukuthi kubukeka sengazathi akakhona, but he's there making crooked paths straight for you. So be encouraged. I hope you are encouraged. I hope this really does encourage you. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for listening to the story time / testimony. Be blessed, and let's do this again. Yeah, let's do this again. If you want me to do this again, please let me know there by the comment section. If you have not subscribed, if you are here for the first time, family, and you have not subscribed, please just subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, we thank God for you. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for showing us so much love. Please, guys, do us this favor. If you can, share it on your stories. Share this link on your stories. Share this link on your WhatsApp statuses. Share it on your Facebooks, on your Instagram. Please let this family grow. The intention is for us to grow. At the end of the day, this channel must grow. Thank you so much for giving me your time. Bye till next time.